I don't know if that worked. I don't know if I was hidden behind it completely. But hey guys, how's it going? It's Chris from Linkin Airsoft, and we have an unboxing. Holy God, those lights are bright. I almost forgot what it was like to look into that ring light, because my God, that thing is bright. Anyways guys, we have an unboxing for you. Let me get a knife out, and yeah, I'm excited for this one because it's a sniper, and wow, it seems like, Chris, that's all you're getting lately are snipers, right? You have your VSR10, you got your KWJ, or KJW rather, I always flip it around, and here you are buying another sniper. Well, the KJW is a gas gun, and it was kind of like a niche, cheap $100 thing I went for just for the heck of it. The VSR10 is a great gun, but it doesn't have quite the range that I need without upgrades as its base gun. So, instead of spending a lot of money on upgrades, I decided I need another sniper anyway for this winter when we play in the snow, so that way Sam can go ahead and play in the snow with us without ruining an AEG. So, I decided, I keep saying so a lot, I apologize. I decided to get another sniper. She can run my VSR10, and I will be running this for the most part. We have the Evike 2019 John Wick thing that they have going in there. And this is the box right here. Not a whole lot to tell from it. It does tell you what it is on the front, but it's a very simple box. Alright, so this right here, as you can see on the front, is the MB10. MB10, whatever you want to call it. And open this up. And there is the gun. I forgot that the MB series always comes in like 2 pieces. So I got the Model C version, which includes a bipod and a scope, just because, you know, it's not much more expensive and I can always use the additional accessories. So, hey, it also looks like we got ourselves a Cheapo Depot sling right here. Can always use another sling. Speed loader. Again, can never have too many speed loaders. We have what I assume are 0.2 gram BBs. We have some silica gel. We have some tools, Allen keys and such. Right here we have the scope. Let's go ahead and lift the barrel out of here. That is a nice and long barrel. Oh man. I don't think this is going to be much of a pain to install. Okay, now that was only a slight pain in the butt to get the screws in. I don't really know why. It was just me being kind of dumb, trying to figure out it was 2 short and 1 long. I'm like, where does this go? And I don't know where this spring even goes, but we got it together, and this is what it looks like. Alright, now when holding this gun, you can see that it definitely has quite the barrel on it in comparison to my VSR10. I'd say, if I had to guess, from what I can remember in holding it, I'd say this probably has an extra, I don't know, 6 inches maybe on the JG. I'm not quite sure. But one thing I do love is this freaking stock. This gun does come in a real wood form, a real wood build, which I really, really wanted. It's like $190, but unfortunately it's out of stock and it's never in stock. It does have a faux wood, which was also out of stock, but I would have much preferred to get a wood version. Instead, I went with the olive drab green, which I'm going to probably be painting white for the coming winter, definitely. So it looks like we got ourselves about a 4-inch bolt rack. Slides forward nice, clicks in nice, not a whole lot of wobble there. Let's go ahead and do a dry fire in a safe direction. It's not too loud, honestly. It's a little bit echoey in here, as you can probably tell from the audio. So let's just see. That's a pretty good, smooth racking. I like that. That feels good. So as far as features go, from immediately what I can tell out of the box right here, on the left side we have our little slide bar hop-up adjustment, which has like nice little clicks, so you can really feel where it sets in. I don't think the VSR10 has that. It's just a slide, but this one has very slight notch clicks. Obviously, we have our safety right up here, a little thumb safety by the bolt, which I'm probably going to secure down, because if it's anything like the VSR10 and it's a little bit loose, I'm going to unintentionally put it on safe every time I bolt the gun, so I'm probably going to have to lock that in place somehow. We have our rubber buttstock right here, and not really much. We have a sling point on the front, sling point on the back, which is awesome that we already start with 2 slings. Mag fits in there nice. Let's go ahead and check our mag release button. And it drops it. It doesn't just release, it actually drops it down, which is perfect. That makes for a very easy mag exchange, because I know with the VSR10 all it does is let go, but it doesn't drop. It only releases, so it makes it really difficult to pry the magazine out of the gun. But smooth, no wobble. It seems like it fully reaches into the hop-up and yeah, pops right out. So Perfect. We're going to go ahead and once I get everything together tomorrow, for me, for you, it'll be right after this, we're going to go ahead and do a chrono shooting test and all that good stuff. So I'll cut ahead to that. Okay, so now we're out here getting ready to do a chrono shooting test, but as you can see, it's raining, so I can't really do too much of a good range test without getting all my equipment. But usually what I do is I go to the end of the driveway over this way, and I shoot up the driveway all the way over past the house over there to a target, which going down to about this tree right here is somewhere in the realm of 110 feet, give or take. So that's usually where I try to shoot from to get my range test. But I'm not going to really be able to do that because I can't carry all my camera equipment and everything out there. So we're going to do a range test from within the porch, right about from here, shooting all the way out to the tree line over there. I'm just going to kind of just get an idea for myself on what it's shooting at, but more importantly, we're doing a chrono test. Okay, so for this test, we're going to be shooting 0.2 gram BBs. We're going to take about 10 shots out of the mag. New mag, I've only shot the gun a couple of times, dry fire, and once with the BB, so it still needs to be broken in. So we're going to basically get a very fresh take on what the gun's capable of. Redo that. Okay, so it looks like on average we are getting 434 FPS with a high of 444.4 and a low of 391 out of 10 shots with 0.2 gram BBs. Just so you guys know, I'm using Elite Force brand BBs, so you know they're pretty good quality in my opinion. I usually use Elite Force, so I do basically all my testing. That's the dust in there, ew. So yeah, I think it's actually it's pretty consistent, and I'm curious as to see, I'm going to probably be using either 0.4s or 0.32s whenever I actually play, so I'm curious as to how that's going to work out and how it's going to affect the range. Okay, so what are my initial opinions about the MB10? Well, the sniper I have been using, the VSR10, is a very lightweight, very compact. It's not like the Amoeba Striker, but it's definitely a medium-sized sniper rifle. And so it's super easy to manage, very easy to cock back, get your hand back on the grip and ready to fire very quickly if you've practiced and you got it down, like with any kind of gun. But the difference between the VSR10 and the MB10 is about 4 inches in barrel length and like 3 pounds. Just off the top of my head, like 3 pounds difference. It's a fairly hefty gun, and since it's longer, you know, the barrel is steel, the body is polymer, the rail is metal, and you got obviously your scope and everything. So it's a very, very metal heavy gun. Like the entire inner workings of the gun are all metal, so it's got a little bit of weight to it, and even the polymer is thick, strong, and durable. Even with this chunk cut out, it's still got a lot of weight right in here because it has to support you gripping this and not breaking it or anything like that. So holding it out like this, I mean, I'm a skinny person. I'm a skinny, weak person, so something like this would get tiring after a couple minutes. I would definitely get, my shoulder would feel it. So shouldering the gun like this for a fair amount of time and cocking back, bring it back, cocking back, would definitely get kind of exhausting, especially running around out in the kind of terrain we play. One thing I do want to note of something I like is the bolt is pretty comfortable. I do think that the end of the bolt could be a little bit fatter for a easier grip because I have kind of bigger hands. You know, my hands aren't that big, but you know, they're big enough. So I think that by increasing possibly the bolt size right here, make that a bigger bubble, then that'll make a little easier grip because it's basically a 2-finger grip for me. I bring it up and I 2-finger grip and cock it all the way back. Something to note, that when you go to cock back the gun right here, you're going to grab it and you're going to bring all the way back. And if you're bringing it back with your thumb looped around this side like this, if you're going to grab it fully and bring it back, you don't even get a full pullback before your thumb, the back of your thumb is colliding with the stock of the gun. So you're getting about, I don't know, I'd say an 80% cockback, 85% by the time your thumb connects. So you basically have to move your thumb out of the way to pull it that last 1/4 of an inch or so, and then it clicks right there. So if you have kind of a big hand, or if you pull back with a full grip of your hand, because it's pretty heavy spring. I don't know what spring it is exactly. I'm sure you can look it up on e-bike or wherever. But it's a pretty heavy spring compared to the Bar 10, because it's shooting about 440 FPS on average with 0.2 gram BBs, as you just saw. So that spring is a little bit heftier to pull back, and my thumb gets hit right there. So, but it does snap back nicely. It does get into place very easily. So far, I haven't had any issues with the thumb safety right here. One thing I do want to mention also is it's honestly just from holding it and shooting it stationarily. It's very comfortable. It is like I thought it might be kind of weird to slot your thumb to grab the trigger every time. Every time you cock back and then you put it back and you have to reset your thumb, but it kind of just slides right in. It's nice. And you don't even have to do that. You can just grab the outside of it like this. If you need to make a couple quick shots, you don't want to worry about the thumb hole, you don't need to. You can just grip it and go like that. It's totally fine. Totally easy. Hell, you can go like this. You can do whatever you want. It doesn't really matter. But another thing I want to mention is the sling mount on the front right here. You can unscrew it and you can switch it with the bolt that holds the Picatinny rail inside. So you only get one bolt for the Picatinny right there. You can take that out and you can put it in the front and you can screw in the sling mount that acts as a screw for the Picatinny and move it to the back. So you can essentially put your sling back here, giving you more room for your bipod in the front so the bipod doesn't get in the way of the sling. Because with the sling mounts in the front, it's obviously in the way of your bipod that folds out. It might not be fully in the way, but it's still something your hand might have to jostle around, especially if the sling is up, it'll be in the way of the bipod. So you kind of have to make a choice on whether or not do I want to run a sling, do I want to have a bipod, or do I want to move the sling further back and then get it in the way of my mag release button in my mag. Because if the sling is mounted back here, it's going to be closer to where the mag is, which might make that kind of annoying if I'm trying to go like this and the sling's in the way because it's pulled up, because it's up my shoulder and I'm trying to get in the way. So the sling placement I don't like because it gets in the way of one of two things. I don't think I'm going to run the bipod on this, and if I do, I'll probably take the sling off or figure out some other way to mount it or something, because otherwise I'm not entirely sure. Trying to think of anything else that might stand out for this gun that you want to consider. The buttstock is very comfortable, I think. I think it snuggles really, really nicely. You can bring it nice and tight into you, and it's perfect. The cheek rest is almost a perfect height. Another thing I do want to consider, it depends on the type of scope you have, with the type of eye relief you have on the scope, but you might have to get a little bit closer and bring yourself up here in order to scope in properly, because right here, this is where I have full view in my scope. But if I go back here where my chin and cheek would naturally want to rest down, I do have some vignette around the scope, so I need to be a little bit closer. That's also just the scope, but as you can see, I'm on the final mount back, so I can't bring it any closer to where my cheek might be resting. So you just might have to consider that the stock goes pretty far back in comparison to the top Picatinny mount. Anyways, guys, I think that's really it. I don't have a whole lot else to say about the gun right now, not until I use it. Any comments on what I like? I really, really enjoy the barrel and this little notch at the end right here. The orange tip looks like I can probably screw it off pretty easy, and I wonder if I could actually attach my suppressor to it. I'm going to see that, because if I could, that'd be pretty cool. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is the MB10. If you enjoyed, leave a like. I'll leave a link to this gun down in the description below. No promo codes or anything. I'm not sponsored, but if you want to look at this gun yourself, it's right down below. I will see you guys in the next video.